I just want to say how proud I am of myself with my consistency. I think this is my third what's for dinner video. I think so, and I'm getting into a groove, and I'm really enjoying doing these kind of videos. But welcome on back to my channel, guys. If you're new here, my name is Candace, and my channel is just as random as I am. I'm kind of doing a transition right now to more lifestyle and cooking and family videos. I am a mom of 5 boys with 1 on the way, so my life can be pretty hectic. So yeah, I'm kind of doing a transition on my channel, lifestyle, more family, cooking, grocery haul stuff. So I believe this is my third what's for dinner video, and I'm really liking them, and I'm hoping that you guys are liking them too. I keep telling myself that I'm trying to get them like shortened down in length. Hopefully this one isn't super long. So let me just stop rambling and get into what we have for dinner this past week. So tonight on the menu, we are having red beans and rice with sausage. I am doing a CrockPot version, so I'm just using the canned beans. You are more than welcome to use the bagged red beans and soak them and do all of that stuff, but easy peasy for me tonight. I'm going to be using 4 cans of the red beans. I am going to drain them and rinse them off to get whatever that stuff is that be on them when they in the can. Also going to be using Hillshire Farms smoked turkey sausage. I am going to use 2 full packs. I'm going to be using a green pepper, celery, 1 onion. I'm going to make some jasmine rice. And as far as seasons go, this is going to be very simple. Onion, garlic, a little Cajun seasoning, and some chicken bouillon cubes, maybe a little salt and pepper. You have to be very careful when you're making red beans and rice with the season because it will be salty. I'm telling you, I made this meal before and it was a complete waste because I was so heavy-handed with the season. It was like so salty. You guys have no idea. So definitely only going to be using bare seasonings this time, but let's get into it. It's going to be quick. My onions chopped up. I am going to saute up the onions, the celery, and the green pepper. I got my skillet getting hot. Once I get my veggies going, I'm going to add in my turkey sausage. I am going to slice up the turkey sausage. I just kind of want to brown the sausage a little bit because I kind of like it, you know, with that glazed crisp texture. And then I got my crock pot ready. I'm gonna add my beans. I did wash and rinse them off. And like I said, this is a crock pot meal. It's gonna be in the crock pot for about 6 hours, but we're gonna cook it on 4 hours first, then an additional hour, and then we're gonna cook it uncovered for the last hour. You guys will see. I'm telling you guys, like, I've done it in the crock pot before. I haven't. I'm using somebody else's recipe. I forgot the girl's name, but I'll leave it in the description box for you. So I got my onion, my green pepper, and celery. Uh-oh, run away. I got it sauteing down. So I'm gonna let that do its thing. And I'm gonna go ahead and slice up the sauce. Now, I know I told you guys that I made red beans and rice before. I just did not make them in the crock pot. I made them in my Big Mama pot on the stove. And when I tell y'all I over seasoned it like way too much, it was a complete disaster and a complete waste. And I was like, yeah, never doing that again. So I found this recipe, which seems to be really simple in the crock pot, just a few ingredients. So I have made this meal before, but I kind of haven't made this meal before. As you guys can hear, your favorite toddler is up running amok in the background. Sausage in there. I'm gonna just let this cook up. At first I was gonna like take the peppers and stuff out, but it's like, yeah, I ain't doing all of that. I could just brown it up and saute it up together real quick. Smells good. Alrighty, so I added the sausage, the veggies to the crock pot. You guys know I like my liner. If you watch my last What's for Dinner, I explained the whole crock pot liner thing. You don't have to use it. I just think it makes cleanup a little easier. So I'm gonna go ahead and add 2 chicken bouillon, and then I think the recipe calls for 5 cups of water, so I'm gonna get the water real quick. So I'm gonna just sprinkle a little. Stir that up. Okay. Perfect. And then we are going to let this cook on high for 4 hours. So put the top on the crock pot. Put it on high. And I'll see you guys in 4 hours. I am cooking early. It's like 11 a.m. but I knew that this had to go in the crock pot, so I started early. Alrighty, so red beans and rice has been cooking for a full 4 hours. Let's see what we got. Alrighty. Now, when I watched the girl on YouTube with this recipe, she said, don't worry, all of that water will cook out because we are getting ready to add a full stick of butter. And at this point is when we're going to season it. Now, I told y'all before when I made this, I seasoned it way too much and it was a salty mess. So I'm going to be very mindful of the season, because if it needs extra, they can just add a little when we eat. I just don't want everything to be super salty. Alrighty, so the first season is gonna be Cajun. I'm gonna go in. Pop, 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 pop. I think that's enough. Yeah, I think that's good. And then a little garlic. I'm gonna do a little onion powder. I'm gonna do literally a little pinch of salt, and that's gonna be it. And then a full stick of butter. This is a full stick, I just cut it up. And then I'm gonna cover it back up and cook it on high for another hour. The trick to getting this to thicken up, we are going to cook it for 1 more hour on high, but we're not going to cover it up so it can thicken up. And while it is cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and put the rice on in my Instapot. And I forgot to show this earlier because I didn't have it. AJ had to bring some home. I am gonna make some cornbread to go with our red beans and rice. So set my timer for 1 more hour for the red beans and rice, and let's get it. Alrighty, so the rice is going. I am going to whip up this cornbread really quick. Yes, I am using Jiffy. I seen the other day in one of the cooking groups and it was like, if you use boxed cornbread, you're not a real cook. Well, I'm not a real cook because I always use Jiffy, and I kind of tweak the recipe a little bit. And yes, I do add a little sugar to my Jiffy because I like it super sweet. I'm gonna add some honey. I add 1 extra egg than what the recipe calls for, and of course some milk. And I am going to be making it in my cast iron skillet. I got my oven preheating to 400 and I'm gonna butter this up. Y'all will see, it's gonna be good. Cornbread is ready to go in the oven. I'm gonna put it in here for about 16 minutes. Oh shoot. Oh, I could use my timer here because my microwave timer is busy. Perfect. Alrighty, so I'm gonna just put my toothpick in, make sure that it comes out clean. So the cornbread is good to go. I am going to add just a little butter glaze on the top. Oh, I gotta turn this off. Alrighty, so it has cooked for an hour. It is thickening up, not as thick as I want it, so I think I'm gonna let it cook for a little more. Babe, come look at it. Or should I add a little cornstarch or flour to kind of thicken it up? I think it should cook for a little longer. I'm gonna have Mr. W come give his input. Alrighty, y'all, so this is the final of the red beans and rice. It came out phenomenal. We already took a little taste test. Let me tell y'all something. Whew, I definitely redeemed myself because that first batch of it was not good, but it did thicken up a lot. Put it over the white rice with some of the gravy, cornbread. I'll let y'all know what the twins say. How was it?
Really good.
Really good?
Yeah.
Jaden, you liked it? Mm-hmm. You want more? Mm-hmm. Okay. Man of the house. Dun, 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 dun. How was it?
Pretty good. Pretty good there. I'm on my second portion. We could be no rice this time, but I sure enough got me some of that mighty fine cornbread, Mrs. W.
So we can run it back.
Yes.
Definitely better than that first abomination of red beans.
I don't even have a recollection of that.
So I'm still working on mine, but this meal was definitely a thumbs up. So you guys got to try it. It's fire. It kind of matched the weather too, because it's been rainy and gloomy all day. Perfect. Alrighty, so tonight's dinner is going to be another CrockPot meal. I think the last meal was CrockPot. Yeah, what is today? Oh yeah, we did the red beans and rice. Today, we're gonna be having chicken and gravy. I just wanna apologize right now for my background. It's 9:30 in the morning. Caleb is up running around. The big boys are up in school. But this recipe calls for the chicken to be in the CrockPot for about 5-6 hours. So I'm getting started early. You will need chicken breasts. I have 5 thawed out chicken breasts. You guys know we are a family of 7, so I have to double everything. I will link the recipe in the description box for this meal for you. I think it calls for 2 or 3, but I gotta double it up. I don't know if you guys know, but I get the big 12-pound bag of chicken breast from Sam's. It is absolutely amazing. I can grab however many chicken breasts I need and then put the rest back in the deep freezer. And I think, I want to say it comes with like 15 or 16 chicken breasts. And I think it's like 15 bucks. Don't quote me on the price. If I remember, I'll link it for you guys. But nonetheless, you'll need chicken breasts. I'm going to be making homemade mashed potatoes again. We're going to have sweet peas. And then to make the actual gravy, you'll need the McCormick chicken gravy mix. I got one regular and then one with 30% less sodium. My best friend made this and she said be careful with the packets of gravies because they can be kind of salty. You'll also need 1 can of cream of chicken, and because I'm extra, I'm also going to be using a can of the cream of mushroom with roasted garlic. As far as seasons go, Old Faithfuls, onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper, paprika, and a little oregano. And you guys can hear I am completely winded. I have officially made it into my 3rd trimester, and whew, we got 13 more weeks to go. So my tiredness, my heavy breathing, and all of that is kicking into high gear. But let's go ahead and get into the recipe. Alrighty, so first things first, I'm just gonna start off by seasoning up the chicken. I'm using salt, pepper, everything that is listed here is gonna be what I season the chicken with. I'm actually not gonna put any EVOO, extra virgin olive oil, on it this time. I'm just gonna season it just like this. Alrighty, so first things first, I'm going to dump the whole can of cream of chicken right into the bottom of the crock pot. Then I'm gonna add 1 can of water to get the rest of that out. I got most of it out. Then I'm gonna add 1 packet of the chicken gravy right to the crock pot. Make sure I get all of that out. Then to this, I'm gonna add a pinch of salt. You guys can hear Caleb in the back. A sprinkle of garlic. Sprinkle of onion powder. And then we're just gonna whisk this together. I did add a little paprika to the gravy cream of chicken mix just to give it some color. Now I'm just going to add the chicken breast right into it. I'm gonna add the cream of mushroom and the other packet of gravy, but I'm going to mix it up in the bowl first and then add it on top of the chicken in the crock pot. And I'm not sure, should I use a full pack? I don't know. Maybe I'll just use like, yeah. I think I'll use like half a pack. I'm just gonna add this to the top of the mixture. Just kind of mix that in, whisk it up a little bit. Perfect. Alright, and then I'm going to set it to high and let it cook up for 6 hours. Once it cooks for 6 hours, I'll pull the chicken out to shred it, see what kind of gravy we got going on, give it a little taste test, and see if we need to add anything extra to it. Alrighty, so the chicken and gravy has been cooking for 6 full hours. I am going to go ahead and pull the chicken out of the gravy and shred it on my cutting board. And then the recipe calls for you to add sour cream to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and get it mixed up. Ooh, the chicken is like falling apart. It almost don't want to come out. Oh, 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 don't fall, don't fall. But it's pretty much, Caleb in the background. It's okay, but the gravy and stuff is pretty much done once you add the sour cream, and you're just adding sour cream to kind of thicken it up and make it a little richer. I'm gonna shred the chicken real quick, put it back in, then I'm gonna start on the potatoes and sweet peas. Alright, so I'm gonna add like 2 healthy squeezes, and then just whisk this up. Make sure to get all that good stuff. What is that? I forgot to tell you guys too, on the chicken, that is just paprika from when I seasoned it. I guess I didn't like stir it up. That's why it had like that red tint to it. So I am not Caleb, sorry guys, I'm not a fan of how runny the gravy is. I don't know if something that I did, the gravy mix. So I am going to grab my cornstarch to just thicken this up a bit. So yeah, I'm just gonna grab some cornstarch. Every time I turn the camera on, Caleb. I'm gonna take like 2 spoonfuls of that to just thicken up that gravy. I do not like a soupy gravy. And I'm just gonna take some of it and add it to the cornstarch. And I'm just gonna make, I think it's a slurry is what they call, like a gravy slurry. So my taste tester tasted, and we added a little salt and garlic powder. Now I'm just waiting for it to thicken up some. I keep saying I'm about to start the potatoes, but seriously, I'm about to start the potatoes. Stay over here. I don't think I'm going to put all of that in. You guys just seen me make my homemade mashed potatoes last week with the meatloaf. Only thing different is I'm not doing garlic. I'm just doing regular potatoes. So I'm gonna include it. I'm just not gonna talk through it. So. While I'm waiting for the potatoes to soften up, I'm gonna go ahead and put the sweet peas on. And yes, I know that the canned version isn't the healthiest, but it be like that sometimes. I'm gonna add a little salt, a little pepper, a pinch of sugar, and a tablespoon of butter. And these are, you know, pretty much good to go. Alrighty, so this is the finished product of the chicken and gravy. The gravy could have been a little thicker, but still came out really good. Sweet peas on the side. Boys and AJ are getting ready to eat, so you guys know I will do a taste test for you guys and a review. How was it, boys?
Second delicioso.
Just a second plate. I didn't catch the first one. Mr. W.
My second plate.
Everybody's on their second plate, so definitely was a hit. We're gonna give this one. Oh, Jew, did you enjoy? So we're gonna give it a thumbs up. I would like the gravy to be a little thicker, but it's still bomb. Just need some dinner rolls, right? Little crescent rolls would have set it off. Croissant rolls. Alrighty, so the last recipe for this week is a crowd favorite. I mean, you can literally find this recipe all over Pinterest, all over the internet. It's in so many CrockPot groups, and it's gonna be a recipe that I actually follow to the T, because if you don't, you can mess up your pot roast and end up making it super salty. So we will be following the recipe to a T, and I will link it in the description box for you. But it is the Mississippi pot roast, and it's very simple and very easy to make. You will need some kind of pot roast of your choice. I am using this beef round eye pot roast that I got from Sam's. Was a little expensive. It was $17, but this is like a full 5-pound pot roast. Again, we're a family of 7. You will need 1 full stick of butter, whatever kind of butter that you use. You will need 1 packet of aju, I think that's how you say it, aju gravy. You will need some pepperoncini peppers and the pepper juice, and then you will also need some ranch seasoning. It calls for 1 packet of ranch seasoning, but I went ahead and I just have this. So I think to make 1 packet of seasoning, you will need 3 tablespoons of the actual dry rub. And this recipe does go in the crock pot. It has to cook for 8 to 10 hours on low. So that's why I'm in my man voice this morning, because it is super early. It is 7:43. It is, what's today? Sunday. So I gotta hurry up and get this stuff in here and get it going so it doesn't take like all day. Alrighty, so this is not actually how many tablespoons you're supposed to use. This is how you make the actual ranch dressing. So I looked it up because they say that there is 1 ounce in a full packet of the ranch dry mix. And so it says 2 tablespoons will equal 1 packet of the ranch dressing, and I double checked it how many tablespoons are in 1 ounce, and it says 2 tablespoons, so that is what we're going with. And the recipe calls for 4 pounds, 3 to 5 pounds will work, 1 ounce of ranch. You need the ounce. Ooh, it says 87-ounce brown packet gravy. Whatever, this is a 1 ounce packet of the au jus gravy. Half a cup of salted butter. Half a cup will actually be a full stick of butter. And then 10 pepperoncinis and 1/4 cup pepperoncini juice. And the reason why I am following the recipe to the T, because if you don't, it will be super, super salty. That has what everybody's been telling me. The ranch dressing, the ranch can be like super salty, and so can the au jus gravy mixed together, because I was confused on why we weren't like seasoning the roast, and everybody was like, yeah girl, do not season it, it's gonna be flavorful. So let's get going. Alrighty, so this is what it looks like. It doesn't require any liquid or water or anything. Only liquid it needs is the juice from the pepperoncini juice. And I just put it around the side. I did slice up the butter, even though it said you can just throw it right in. I put the season like right on top of the roast, the ranch and the au jus. And let's get going. I'm just gonna put the top on, make sure it's on good. There we go. Perfect. And 8 hours. And I'll report back later with you guys. Now, I am not sure what we're going to be having. If we're going to have like potatoes or rice. I think we're gonna make sandwiches. I'm not sure, but the roast is the star of today's meal. So see you guys in a little bit. Alrighty, y'all, so it has been a full 8 hours. It is now 4:21 and the roast is done. I'm sure if I touch it, it will just, uh-oh, look at that. But I'm sure if I touch it, it will fall apart. Sorry, background was going, but the roast is completely done. I'm sure if I put a fork through it, it will fall completely apart. But we've decided that we're gonna have like sandwiches. I'm gonna grab some Cuban bread. We're gonna make some homemade potato wedges and call it a night. I cannot wait. It smells so good, y'all. Them peppers add juice and gravy. Oh, can't wait. AJ went ahead and sliced it up. Oh, shredded. I'm sorry, guys. He shredded it up. It looks absolutely delicious. And he said that it is fire. So definitely follow the recipe to the T. Don't add any extra seasons. So glad that I didn't. It's going to be so good on that Cuban bread. Woo. Y'all, AJ really outdid himself. These things look phenomenal. Absolutely delicious. Can't wait to eat. Cuban bread is toasting. About to plate up these sandwiches. Babe, I could taste one. Think he said no, y'all. Alrighty. Here is the finished of the Mississippi pot roast. I just threw a little piece of Swiss cheese on top. I think I'm gonna get a little bit of the gravy to dip my sandwich in. Potato wedges. I cannot wait. AJ and the boys got Chipotle Gouda cheese, so. Ooh, ooh, ooh. How'd you like it?
Good.
Good? How do you think it would be over potatoes or like rice? No, just sandwich? You liked yours? It was good? Mine was good too. I'm finishing up now. Mr. W?
It was good. The sandwich was a good idea. They could have did different bread though.
Different bread? Well, we have plenty left so we can switch out the bread. So I'm gonna give this a thumbs up for the Mississippi pot roast. Thumbs up. Y'all see we watching Friday. Alrighty, so that is a wrap for another What's for Dinner. I didn't even realize that I kind of did a Crocktober theme for this last week here. Let's see. Yeah, all the meals that I did this week were in the crock pot, and we have one more week left in October, and I do have a few more meals planned for you guys, so be on the lookout next week for What's for Dinner. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, check the description box. All the recipes will be linked for you. Oh, follow me on Instagram. You guys know that already. Anything else, kids? Since you're dancing. No. What was your favorite meal this week? Red beans and rice, chicken and gravy, or the Mississippi pot roast?
Mississippi pot roast.
The Mississippi pot roast is winning for you? The pot roast? I thought the red beans and rice was a hit. Pot roast was good, you guys. Gotta try it. But I'll see you guys next week. Bye.